How close do you feel like they are, like you guys are, to taking that next step, competing for a playoff spot? And how much do you think you're going to be able to help getting them to that level?
We're making the playoffs for sure. We're making the playoffs for sure. We're making the playoffs for sure.
DJ91. Hello there, this is DJ91, back with another video, this time a sports video. I don't normally do sports content on this channel, but every now and then when it comes to my Raptors, I feel compelled to do a sports video. On this channel, I like to mix it up. It's music, travel, gaming, sports, and random content all in one. Right now, it's almost that time of the year again. NBA basketball is just around the corner, Media Day is just weeks away, and the regular season will be starting next month. In this video, I'm going to talk about the expectations for the Toronto Raptors in the upcoming 2025-26 season. The expectation is the playoffs, something that they haven't achieved in 3 years now. And it has been over a decade since the franchise has had that long of a playoff drought. And of course, there's a lot of doubters out there who are counting them out. As a matter of fact, a lot of people are sleeping on the Raptors. But in response to all that skepticism, I'm going to break down 3 reasons why I believe the Raptors will make it back to the playoffs next year. But before I go any further, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe as well. I greatly appreciate it. This is YouTube, not OnlyFans. It's free to subscribe and watch videos on here. Now, let's get into the content. Reason number 1, the Brandon Ingram trade. When the Raptors made this trade last season at the deadline, even though he was injured at the time, they made this trade with the intention of making the playoffs the following season, not right away. They were still in rebuild mode with a 16-35 record and no shot at making a run for the playoffs. Therefore, it made no sense to have him come back for the remainder of the season. It was best to just let him rest and recover for next season. Plus, it was a smart, low-risk trade. All they had to do was give up Kelly Olynyk, Bruce Brown, and a couple future draft picks to get him. And with his contract expiring along with his bird rights, they were able to lock him up on a 3-year, $120 million extension, immediately putting away any doubts about whether he would stay or not. It's hard for the Raptors to attract big names in free agency since they're located across the border. Therefore, trading for a star player like Brandon Ingram and getting their bird rights to pay them the most money is the best way to get them and keep them long-term. Unless you're Kawhi Leonard with Uncle Dennis as your agent making ridiculous negotiations. By the way, I put out a video last year about why I thought it was best for the Raptors to not re-sign him. You should check it out. Anyways, moving on, back to the content. Also, let's do a deep dive on Brandon Ingram. 28 years old, in his prime, a 6'8" small forward with a 7'3" wingspan, can space the floor, has the ability to create his own shot, and a very good playmaker at his position. They call him Baby Kevin Durant for a reason, and he got the talent to back it up. During his tenure with the Pelicans, Brandon Ingram leveled up and turned into the finished product that we would see today. In his first year with the Pelicans, he would make his first and only All-Star appearance so far, and would win Most Improved Player of the Year. After that, he would also gain some playoff experience in 2022 and 2024, even though they didn't make it out the first round. Up until last season, Brandon Ingram has also averaged at least 20-plus points per game for 6 consecutive years, which makes him an offensive weapon. And yeah, there's been talks about him being injury-prone, which is understandable, but let's not hold that against him. Injuries happen, and in Brandon Ingram's defense, he's still a guy you'd want on your team if you want to compete. Also, a fun fact about Brandon Ingram's availability. During his 6 years with the Pelicans, he only missed 38% of his games, which is really not bad for a guy who's injury-prone. One thing's for sure, he's definitely not Zion Williamson, someone who's been notoriously unavailable. And now that B.I. is in Toronto, I bet he's happy to no longer have someone like Zion Williamson as a teammate. Adding B.I. with Scottie Barnes and the rest of those guys will definitely make a difference, especially now that he'll have a full season to recover and a full training camp to get acclimated with his new teammates. Reason number 2, the young talent. Lost in the rebuild is the emergence of young talent that the Raptors have been developing under the leadership of head coach Darko Rajakovic. 21-year-old Grady Dick is already getting better, a 6'6" combo guard who can score and shoot the ball well from deep. In his rookie season, he averaged 8.5 points per game on 36% three-point shooting and 42% field goal shooting, mostly coming off the bench. And in his second season with more playing time, he was inserted into the starting lineup, and his productivity went up, averaging 14.4 points per game on 35% three-point shooting and 41% field goal shooting. 21-year-old Jacoby Walter, a 6'5" shooting guard who has shown flashes of greatness in his rookie season. Within a few weeks of his debut, already had his first ever double-double in a road win against the Pelicans, where he had 11 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 assists. Had a career high of 27 points in a close game against the Rockets, and late in the season had a game-winning three-pointer with 0.5 seconds left against the Magic on the road, where he scored 17 points. He would end off his rookie season with 8.6 points per game, 3.1 assists per game, on 34% three-point shooting, and 40% field goal shooting in 52 games played, while mostly coming off the bench. 23-year-old Jamal Shead, who immediately solidified himself as the Raptors' backup point guard in his rookie season, providing the second unit with some complementary scoring, playmaking, quickness, and defense, despite being only 6'1". They're already comparing this guy to the great Kyle Lowry. Jamal Shead finished off his rookie season with 7.1 points per game, and 4.2 assists per game in 75 games played, playing the most games for the Raptors last season despite being a rookie. 25-year-old Ochai Agbaji, a 6'5 shooting guard coming off his third season, had just taken a leap in his career, earning his spot as a solid 3-and-D guy for the Raptors. Last season, his scoring went up, his assists went up, and his shooting numbers went up. He would average a career-high 10.4 points per game, first time averaging double digits, along with 3.8 assists per game on 39% three-point shooting and 49% field goal shooting in 64 games, starting in more than half of the games he played for the year. 24-year-old Jamison Battle, a 6'7" small forward who the Raptors had signed last season as an undrafted rookie. After the summer league, his deal was converted to a two-way contract, but didn't have to spend too much time with the 905 team. Battle would show flashes of greatness in his rookie season. Early in the season, in a road win against the Pelicans, he scored a career-high 24 points on 9 of 11 shooting and shot 6 for 8 from downtown. Midway through the season, the Raptors had seen enough and would convert his two-way contract into a standard 3-year contract. By the end of the season, Battle would average 7.1 points per game on 40% three-point shooting and 42% field goal shooting in 59 games while playing most of his games off the bench. 25-year-old A.J. Lawson, a 6'6" shooting guard who's from the city playing for his hometown team. Although it's a question mark right now whether or not he fits with the Raptors' long-term plans since he's now in a 2-year non-guaranteed contract, Lawson has shown potential in his first year with the Raptors. 2 months into the season, while stuck in the G League playing for the Long Island Nets, the Raptors took a chance on the Toronto native with a two-way contract. He would get assigned to the 905 team to develop. Later in the season, he would be added into the Raptors rotation, and he would get his opportunity to shine in a game against the Wizards, with a few key guys off the bench who were out for that game. Lawson would end up scoring a career-high 32 points along with 12 rebounds off the bench in a 119-104 victory. A couple days later, he would have another big game. He would score 28 points the following game in a 118-105 victory against the Sixers. Lawson would finish the season averaging 9.1 points per game in 26 games played. 24-year-old Scottie Barnes, yes, the star of the team, the new face of the franchise, despite now entering his 5th season, is still under the age of 25. Not only has he made quick progress of becoming a star-caliber player, he continues to get better. And yeah, we already know how talented he is and what he does best at his position. The scoring, the rebounding, the playmaking, the defense, the shot blocking, the IQ, the wingspan, the ball handling skills. Scottie Barnes can do it all. Put the right pieces around him, no doubt the Raptors can be a competitive team. It also seems like it's been forgotten that Scottie Barnes already has some playoff experience. Back in his rookie season in 2022, he was a major part of bringing the Raptors back to the playoffs after that down year they had while playing in Tampa Bay during the pandemic. Although they would end up losing in the first round, the Raptors still overachieved that year, finishing as the 5th seed with a 48-34 record when everybody wrote them off that year. Despite getting hurt in his first playoff game, he didn't let an injury stop him from getting more games in. He had missed a couple games after suffering a sprained ankle, and the Raptors were down 3-0 against Philly, on the verge of getting swept. But Scottie Barnes would come back in time for Game 4, and although he wasn't playing at full strength, he would still help the Raptors extend the series to 6 games before getting eliminated. 4 years later by now, after missing the playoffs every year, you would bet that he's hungry to get back to the playoffs again. And of course, last but not least, 20-year-old Colin Murray-Boyles, a 6'7" power forward who the Raptors just drafted with the 9th overall pick. Despite being undersized at his position and his lack of shooting, he definitely shows a lot of upside. He's strong, very athletic, can easily score in the paint, can rebound, defend, and protect the rim. In the Summer League, we've seen a preview of how good he can be. And with the Raptors development program, I think he'll fit right in. He'll work hard, continue to get better, and help this team make a push for the playoffs. Reason number 3, the East is more open this year. Here's why. Based on what occurred last season and the moves made in the offseason, the only legit contenders in the East that make sense for now are the Cavaliers, the Knicks, the Pistons, and possibly the Magic. After those 4 teams, it's really up for grabs with anybody. The Celtics, who seem to be rebuilding, have broken up their championship core, getting rid of Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis. Not to mention they'll also be without Jason Tatum, who will miss the entire year with an Achilles injury. The Pacers, who just went to the finals, will be without Tyrese Halliburton, who also won't play this year due to a torn Achilles. They even let Miles Turner walk for nothing. In Milwaukee, Giannis no longer has a co-star beside him. Miami is now on a path to nowhere after trading away Jimmy Butler, who was their best player. Philly is cursed with 2 of their best players, Paul George and Joel Embiid, both injury-prone as hell, both coming off knee surgery, both overpaid and on the decline. And teams like Brooklyn, Charlotte, Washington are going to continue to be trash. With that being said, if you're the Raptors, you got Scottie Barnes, you got RJ Barrett, you got Emmanuel Quickley, who missed a lot of time last year due to injury. You now got Brandon Ingram a part of the team. You still got Jakob Poeltl as your center, a 7-footer who's a rim-protecting double-double machine. You got Grady Dick and the rest of those boys. With everyone healthy, they are good enough to be a playoff team. And also, we don't need to be desperate by gutting our roster and forcing a trade for Giannis, someone who's never even requested a trade. We don't need to follow this outdated copycat formula of trying to build some financially crippling top-heavy super team. That strategy no longer wins championships. The Raptors are just fine. They already have the right pieces in place to compete. And plus, coming out of a rebuild, right now it's too soon to have championship hopes. That will take some time. In conclusion, not only do I believe that the Raptors will make it back to the playoffs this season, I know it will happen. Even with the sad departure of Masai Ujiri and all these trade rumors going on with RJ Barrett, there's no way those things will get in the way of them being successful. Regardless of what happens during the season, whether somebody ends up getting traded or not, it will be the right move. All that matters is that everyone remains healthy. To me, it already feels like the franchise is heading in the right direction again, even though many don't see it yet. As far as predictions, I've been hearing play-in, maybe a 9 or 10 seed. ESPN got them finishing as a 12 seed, and I say bump that. I believe this year's Raptors team is good enough to finish as a top 6 seed in the East, and I'll stand on that. And if I end up being dead wrong, I'm willing to die on that hill. But what do you guys think? Will the Raptors finally end the drought and get back to the playoffs this year, or will they fall short? And if you're a Raptors fan, what game or games do you plan on going to this season? Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. More content on the way. Let's go Raptors. We the North. Peace out, everyone. Thanks for watching, and God bless.
DJ 91.